When you hear the words temporary foreign worker, you probably think of an employer who has tried to hire Canadians but simply can't find any Canadian for the job, and so they go abroad. But as I've mentioned before, the International Mobility Program changes all of that because employers no longer have to show that they've even tried to hire a Canadian. And in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about some of the employer benefits that the International Mobility Program brings with it. Now, I've been studying government programs for quite some time, and I can tell you all start off with a really good purpose, really good intentions, and an ideal that they see decades down the line. But over time, programs change. We get changes in government. The program either continues, gets canceled, or fundamentally alters, and stakeholders who are recipients of program funding realize ways to get money and shortcuts and loopholes the program then provides them with. The International Mobility Program is no different. This was ushered in 2014, and since then, the program has morphed. Under the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, employers have to pay $1,000 per position for a labor market impact assessment, and they must advertise that job for 4 consecutive weeks. Under the International Mobility Program, employers pay $230 one time, and in some cases, if an employee has an open work permit or a spousal permit, they don't have to pay anything at all. And under the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, the government takes approximately 35 to 40 days to process that work permit. Under the International Mobility Program, not only don't have to advertise it anywhere, decisions take as little as 2 weeks. So if you're an HR manager in a company and you need staff tomorrow, the IMP is clearly the better program instead of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Now, here's something interesting that Ottawa put in specifically for the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Say a city has unemployment going over 6%. Well, Ottawa can choose to delay or refuse to process low-wage positions that require a labor market impact assessment. This is actually really important. So because unemployment is higher, they're going to refuse temporary foreign workers because they want Canadians to fill those positions. They also cap companies from hiring too many temporary foreign workers to be approximately anywhere from 10 to 20%. For the International Mobility Program, there are no caps at all. It's totally driven by demand and nothing else. The government in its 2024 evaluation even said getting an LMIA, a labor market impact assessment, has become the exception rather than the rule. Now, a lot of you have asked me, was this all by design to suppress wages, to replace Canadians, to get us out of the labor force? Is this all by design? Of course, those are very extreme claims, but it's interesting that when cost of living is rising, the International Mobility Program's permits have been exploding to levels we've never seen before. Since its inception, approximately 4 million work permits have been issued. And employers love this because it removes so much of the administrative oversight that the Temporary Foreign Worker Program currently has. And I can't lie, many of you have been telling me that your sons and daughters have been going down the street, applying to fast food restaurants everywhere, and they can't find jobs. They're not even called back. And then they go back to those same restaurants and find it fully staffed by temporary foreign workers from abroad. Yourself, some of you have been telling me that you have found it so much harder to find employment, especially now. So it's not that Canadians are frustrated at the newcomers themselves, frustrated at the system that's been set up, and no one seems to be explaining this. The media doesn't seem to be covering it, government doesn't seem to be talking about it, and as a result, many are coming online to share their frustration. Think about this. Companies can fully bypass a labor market impact assessment. Get this, The 2024 audit of the International Mobility Program found that 74% of employers use the program to fill temporary labor gaps, and 73% say it helps with permanent staffing needs. The same report says the program is less aligned with a Canadians First principle. Employers had to pay $1,000, have the position posted for at least 4 weeks, include processing times of up to 40 days afterwards. We're talking many months before a decision is made on one TFW. With the International Mobility Program, there's no advertising. It's a $230 one-time fee, and you can have the work permit processed within 2 weeks. Why would Canada set up two programs with very different administration, one clearly geared towards the employer and one that isn't? Here's the kicker. I've mentioned this before. 80% of all International Mobility Program work permit holders are what's called open work permits. These are spousal work permits, post-graduation work permits. These actually are not tracked at all by the federal government. We have no idea what sector these individuals are working in. We have no idea if they're working at all. 80% of the millions of work permits are open work permits. And this leads to all of the confusion Canadians keep telling me about. They don't know what's going on. They feel the system is rigged, not in their favor. And they're asking why. The International Mobility Program heavily favors employers more so than ever than the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. And this program will continue to expand unless more of us keep talking about it. We want to make sure that it's at least transparent, that government is thinking about Canadians and their employment first, and making sure that Canadians are informed about the changes that the government's planning, because that is fundamentally altering our communities, our societies, social cohesion, and so many other things associated with these types of programs. And finally, is it setting up the foreign worker for success in Canada? I think about the diploma mills sending a lot of these kids into these precarious labor segments. Many of them seem to not leave these sectors as well. Does this program help Canadians? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.